guys, today we're working on the Magnum. What's up guys? Today we're going to be installing some new parts. We're going to be putting on a voltage regulator and USB ports for the Magnum. Putting an air horn on it as well, with a relay going all the way to the horn. We're gonna jump into the original horn button and use it that way. And then we're gonna be putting on some nice Harley pegs, live to ride. And then if we do get some time, I would like to put some LED blue light strips right under this area, shining down on the motor. So at night, it kind of like gives it a nice blueness. I like blue. So we're going to be installing the voltage regulator. I want to put it like right in here. So we're going to make a custom bracket, and it's going to go right into this area. And then we're going to also put the horn. I kind of mocked it up a little bit. I'm going to put the horn right here. It's going to be out of the way, and it's going to be nice and loud right there. So that's where the horn's gonna go. And then pegs go where pegs go. We'll have to make some spacers up, because I already noticed that this is a different, so maybe put it down here, maybe a spacer up there. We'll figure it out 100% when we're ready. But for now, we gotta get that windshield off, so we can get to this little piece, drill a little hole into there, get a screw behind there, make the bracket to come up. Maybe just put it right here and just go straight up. We'll see what's going on when we get there. Haven't quite decided how I want to do it. It is raining here in Southern California. Alright, so I got this piece of aluminum. I'm going to cut a hole in it right there. It's a little flap. Go right there. And then it'll be sticking up. So, I think that'll be a good little solution, and we'll see how it goes. When drilling into aluminum, you want to take a piece of wood and put it under, especially if the aluminum's thin, so that you can get that hole nice and round. Otherwise, you're going to be fighting it, and it may warp and bend. So this is always a good idea, clamping down a piece of wood underneath your aluminum to keep it nice and flat. And don't touch it with your hand, it will be hot. But there you have it. A nice round hole. And then we have a nice hole right there. Just get it down. Boom. So now we'll make a nice rounded edge right there. We'll cut this shorter, bend it, and get it into place. But that's pretty much it. And then wiring. There will be an edge on this, that you're going to want to file down, or hit it with the flapper wheel maybe. Alright, this is my first time using this. I saw this on Amazon or one of those skits, and I was like, ooh, I could use that. And it cuts the metal supposedly, so let's find out. Oh yeah, it does. The only thing I don't like about it is it really disformed the metal. So now, gotta come over to the vise. It helped it out a little bit. I'm not very happy with how it distorted the metal, to be honest. But I guess we'll live. There we go. Now we'll cut it down a little bit once we figure out the length and the width we need, and go from there. I think I want to cut this down just a tad. So that is pretty cool how it cuts it just a little bit. Very careful, this is very sharp. I want to do the same thing kind of to this. We'll have to clean that up. It's not very straight, but we'll get it straight with the flapper wheel. Get this all looking good. Should fit very nicely right here. Got it bent. Clean up these corners, make them rounded. Little by little. Guys, got you on my motorcycle right now. Don't really have a tripod. Trial and error. Trial and error. If something doesn't work right, just stop. Try again. Something else. Something kind of like that. Voltmeter. Something like that. We're going to clean it up a lot more, get a lot smoother into that area. But that's pretty much where it's going to be. Alright, this is our final product. We still got to cut it down just a little bit. But I wanted to show you guys. Not too shabby, not bad for a backyard mechanic. So we're over here at the fitment, and I think I'm gonna leave it where it's at. It actually was match up beautifully to where it's all nice and flush. I don't want it too sunk in. So I think right about there is actually perfect. Man, I couldn't have made that any better, to be fully honest. Talk about dumb luck. Alright, so when you want to do your hole, you're going to want a center punch. Always drill on a piece of wood. And you always want to drill a smaller hole than what you need to start it off. Perfect size. Yep, perfect size again. Like this. Perfect. Now comes the fun part. And that will be doing the same onto this. How can I set you guys? See if that works. This is plastic, so it doesn't take much to get a little dot in, and that's all you really need to start off with is your little dot. It's hard to see, but my little dot's right there, and we will go ahead and cut that. Drill that. Now you always want to be careful when you drill that there's nothing on the back side. Double check and make sure that you're all clear. There it is. Make sure that you have a nut that has ridges on the back side or some kind of a locking nut. With all the vibrations of bikes, you're going to need something that wants to stay on. And if you get that locking nut style, most of the time you don't even have to hold the bottom. Make sure that it's not spinning on you as you're tightening. And there we have it. Just like that. Now what we want to do is go ahead and find a ground and a positive. Usually what I like to do is hook it up straight to the back ignition switch, which makes it to where it only is on when you have your key on. I like it this way because then it won't drain out the battery if you leave the bike for a few days or even a month. You know, these little draws from little things like this can kill batteries within a few weeks or a few days. So you always want to make sure when you hook up your battery or you hook up electrical stuff is that it's in line with your key ignition. You're not getting power unless that key is on. So here we are, we're going to find out really which one is a positive when it's giving the key. So we have the key in the off position. We have this one that's giving power at all times. No power. No power. It's gonna be a little tricky. So now we have the key in the on position. You see the headlight. Now we have power here. And we have power here. So either one of these two will be just fine to take power from. Now we need a ground. I think I'm going to use this screw right here for a ground for my ground. And that should give me all power up there when I'm all said and done. I'll bring you guys back as soon as I'm done because I don't got a tripod to show you guys everything. Alright, moment of truth. Oh yeah, she's a-working. Perfect. Now you turn it off with the key and it goes off. What's up, guys? We got the tank off. We're going to be putting in the air horn today. We got the original wires to the horn taken off that were right here. Just brought them up. I'm going to push them through right here and make an extension piece to come over here. We are going to try to figure out if this is a ground or a positive that goes to the horn. Most bikes have negatives that make the horn go on. It's always positive until the negative is grounded, and once the ground is done, that's when the horn goes off. So we're going to find out if that's the case for this vehicle and wiring harness. Stay tuned. Alright, got the key, putting it in, grabbing our test light, put this to ground. Key on. We got nothing. So this is our positive, this side, and this will be our negative. Let's double check. We're going to take this end to our positive, and this end right there. So that's our negative wire. This is our positive wire. We're going to go ahead and mark them so we know. Alright, so we're all hooked up. I got my positive to my relay, negative to my horn, positive, switch from the switch coming into the relay, positive coming out, negative going to the battery, positive going to the battery. Hit the turn. So it works. Definitely I would suggest when you're doing something like this, have it wired out of the bike before you wire it all in the bike and then find out it doesn't work. I've been there. It sucks. Especially when you do all this work to figure out it ain't gonna work. So, definitely do your testing always. So I get a lot of questions on my blue LED light strips. I'm gonna have one here coming up on the other side, and then one back here coming up to the other side. And I'm gonna hook all these wires up together and into this relay, and we will have a switch between these two and our positive, and then this power wire goes to our power, then ground will go to ground. super easy. And this way your light switch, whatever switch you use to turn everything on and off, will not overheat if you do it this way. If you have the lights running through the switch, it can cause the switch to overheat and malfunction. So definitely always want to put a relay in between all of your lights or external stuff that you put on. Alright, so here's my positive and my negative for my 4 LED strips. One on this side, one on the other side, here, and then the other side as well. They all come up to this one. I have it all heat shrinked all the way back. And now I'm going to take my negative, I'm going to take it over to the switch and then bring it back all the way over to negative. And that way, the negative is really the only wire that's going to be ran around a bunch of ways. It's always great to do it that way, so if you do melt a wire, it's not a positive, it's a negative, which that means your lights won't work. Melt a positive, that means it can arc and go all crazy. So we have our these would be both going to positive. This will be going to our positive over here. This is our negative. And then we'll have another negative going straight to that. But that's how it's ran from there. And then I have it nice and tucked up right here. Should actually work pretty good and look pretty good. I can't wait to fully get to test it out. I've already turned it on a couple times. I can show you real quick. And there you have it. Right here is all the blue. At night, it's gonna really be pop, baby. It's gonna pop. All my electrical connectors and boxes. Making a nice electrical connector piece like this or a box like this is always nice to have. That way you know what you're looking for. And yeah, it's a little messy, but I've seen a lot worse. Better than a big old bucket with a bunch of stuff. Alright, so just got everything all wired in. Here's my relay, my fuse, my ground, my positive when the key goes on, and my switch. Everything's nice and tucked, all heat shrinked and up out of the way. Just a little spot there, but for the most part is very nice and tucked. I think it came out really nice, and it's on both sides. So it is definitely going to look really cool at night. Let's see how it looks with the gas tank on. There it is. Oh, that's gonna look so good at night. I'll definitely have to show you guys later on tonight.